Good evening, and apologies for that delay. This is Blood on the Severn, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in Bristol, England in the year 2012. First of all, apologies for what happened. We started like on point at 7 o'clock. I plays the intro VT, start streaming, start recording. We had, the video. We had a magnificent, beautiful role playing scene until our tech ghoul came. It's like, dude, we're not live, and I was watching, our interface, and it says live, and we had been live for 15 minutes apparently, and we don't know what was it. Apparently, it was a Twitch interface issue. We had to restart stuff, so we're really, really sorry for that. We were role playing. So let me do a quick recap in which I apologize again to Sam for not sending him the recap so he could put it on Hubert's voice. I will apologize this way because I think it's good to be honest. I was very cozy in my hoodie yesterday in the couch, and then I couldn't do anything related. Nothing. Yesterday I needed it to rest. So quick recap. Last session saw the coterie had sort of an argument. Well, not the coterie, just Nangisel and Clarence had an argument in which Clarence was very clearly not happy with not being allowed to have even a small walk around the place. Things escalated dramatically, more than necessary as it is with these things. And he asked to be, released from the hospitality of the coterie, basically asking to be delivered to Teach, where he could voice his concerns and issues. Carl offered to help Annie, guide her through the process of summoning the visions willingly, something that she dreads constantly, for they are what torment her mind, according to what she has told, and the other members of the coterie have seen her suffer. Janice tried to comprehend what was actually going on with the situation around the ritual that was created in the crime scene, and had words with Oscar, the Tremere refugee from London, around them. Whilst Annie and Carl stood on a side on their own, trying to summon the visions, Nangisel and Janice prayed to Perun, the sky god, for guidance, as Oscar was just out in the woods having a cigarette. In the meantime, Matilda was having a lovely walk under the stars with Clarence and Laura. Laura seemed to just be in need of a little bit of a walk outside. I would say fresh air, but she's dead and she doesn't breathe. Clarence mentioned to Matilda revealed the truth of being a survivor of London. For every time they go back to Camarilla territory, they are questioned, and people ask questions about anyone they might have known. And of course, the refugees, the coteries hosting, they didn't know everyone. There were over 100 and something kindred in London. For most accounts, it was grossly overpopulated, and it's been for them sort of a torment of being locked and then just put in a car to be locked somewhere else, constantly peddled by questions and then back. When the coterie returned after a very nasty vision in which Roger Smith, Baron of the Anarchs, was apparently, or someone very, very similar to him, like a twin brother from another mother, being the one who had diablerized Jonathan Fowler. Carl advised Annie not to reveal anything until more information was gained, because that could be problematic. Nangisel and Matilda went for a short walk and a short chat, in which Matilda impressed upon Nangisel the need to make amends with Clarence. The coterie cannot afford to have one of their guests go to tell Teach that he was unhappy about the treatment. And Nanjasil very begrudgingly agreed to apologize. We left the session when Matilda's phone received a call from the Ventru Primogen, Obasi, asking to meet her the following night and to wear something nice.
Yeah.
So, apologies to my players who have had to hear this recap twice. They have already done all of their rouse checks for the evening, and there was this hilarious moment in which I told Bex that she was in Hunger 4, and she almost lost it, but that's the price she pays for having me running her roll 20. So Bex now is happy that Nanjacel is at Hunger 3.
Sorry, happy's an overstatement.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's
happier that it's not 4. Happy that it's not 4, but not super happy about it. And I believe, Janice, Carl, and Matilda all are at Hunger 2.
Yes. I would like to say that I'm Josh.
Oh, sorry.
I'm playing Carl Frederickson.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. With me tonight. Oh, my God. I'm the worst.
I'm Bex, and I'm playing the Hungry Nanjazar.
So I'm Peter, playing Janusz Kroll of Clan Smithfield.
And I'm just a narcissist, and luckily I'm such a narcissist that I turned on the Twitch stream to see that we weren't streaming, so I was able to tell everybody that we weren't streaming.
Thank
So
you,
now here we are.
Thank you for that.
Narcissism for the win.
Oh, and I'm Alice. I'm playing Matilda of Clan Venture.
Thank you very much. Apologies to everyone all around. I think the only thing I'm happy about is that all the mistakes are coming like from my end or from the Twitch gods that hate me, and no technical issues have aroused because we have now an in-house tech ghoul who is amazing. So lots of love to Mitch. And this week is Carlos Appreciation Week because I am the tech ghoul running this.
Oh, you didn't tell us that.
Oh.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Nanjacel. She spent the evening at Janice's Haven, in her room with the children of summer. And
Sounds creepy.
well, I mean,
Very wholesome.
It's very,
With the
very
children.
And
Sorry.
so Nanjacel is downstairs playing the guitar, minding her own business, when a young kid that she has seen around shows up. He's waiting, after he is let in the sort of like area next to the front door. Evelina comes towards him, and he hands her some bags that he had been carrying, and then he goes to the front room and sits.
I'll go, not follow him. That sounds weird. I will go and speak to him. Yeah. So whenever I walk into the room, I'll say, right, mate?
Hi. I'm Sane.
All right, I'm Nand.
Pleased to meet you.
Maybe.
Yeah, is Janice around?
Well, he's probably around someplace. Yeah, he's probably in his room. Do
Oh.
you want to walk with me? We can
Yeah.
go see if he's free.
Yeah, sure. And as you walk into this area of the house, it's an area of the house that he doesn't seem to be super familiar with. He seems to be very familiar with the entrance and the halls and other areas. But the moment you move it upstairs into the area where Janice's room is, he's a little bit more hesitant in following you.
Oh, I think you said before he's wearing a thing around his neck.
Yes. He has around his neck what it looks to be. It's sort of the size of a coin. It's metal, but it's just a metal disc in which you can see the engraving of the willow, the sun, and the river as the symbol of the children of summer, and he has it on a leather strap around his neck.
Okay. So I'll point it out to him and I'll say, let's go lush, mate. Where'd you get
I did it myself.
You make yourself?
Yeah. I've
Can you make me one?
You like one? I've made a couple more. Every time I do them, I'm getting better. Yes.
Well, I don't want it around my neck because I already got something around my neck. What about? Can you do it for my ear or around my wrist, or a ring or something like that?
I can make it around your wrist. I will just punch holes in the side, and instead of one side, just both. And yeah, I can make it. I can make it on a maybe with a smaller disc. Yeah.
Nice.
Excellent.
All right, how much do you want for it?
Oh no. I'm trying to learn. It's my first time like working with soft metals and stuff. So just I'll make it for you.
You can't give it away for free. You've put work into it.
Are you listening, artist schools? I have to pay you, and you never want to charge me. So yeah. Oh yes. I'm sorry. I mean.
How about you make it, and I'll pay you what I think it's worth.
All right. That seems fair. Yes. Thank you.
I'll whenever we get to Jan's door.
Yeah, you're already there.
I'll knock on the door, and I'll say, all right, Jan, you about?
No, Giselle. Yes, I am. You can come in if you like.
I'll open the door.
When you open the door, you can hear the scratching of paws against the floorboards, and a few 3 or 4 dogs leave the room. One of them stays around Zane, and he seems to know that dog because he calls him by name. And when you look inside, Janice is there. There's still a few more dogs around in the room, and he's ready for the evening.
I'll say, Zane wanted to come see you, but look what he made. Point out the chain.
Bring it closer, Zane.
Oh, here, and he takes it off and gives it to you, hands it to you.
It's gonna wait one for me. What goes around my wrist?
Ah, good. Good. It is a great thing to give a gift to another.
Yes.
This is coming along well, Zane. You're getting much better.
Oh, thank you. I have made one for Grace and one for Evelina as well. So I'll be giving them to them after we do the celebrations. Oh, actually, for the celebrations. I'm not sure yet.
So you want I should leave you to it?
Is this a private matter? Zane?
No. Here you go. And he hands you a bag and says, "This is the honey you asked me for. I found it in the farms, Long Ashton. They said that they was local, pure bees,
Good.
pollen from the area, everything."
Yes, good. Locally grown and harvested, and this is good, Zane. Just what we need. Well done.
Excellent. Do you need help with anything else? I got nothing to do. It's not like you get me. I'm free the rest of the evening, and I would like to help.
I'm glad to hear it, Zane. Well, I'm sure Evelina will find you some tasks if you want them. But otherwise, perhaps if you wish to make a gift for Nanjasal, that will be an excellent use of your time.
He smiles and says, "Excellent. I'll get on it. I'll talk to Evelina." And he
Well done, Zane.
Cheers, Zane.
Bye, Nanj. And he starts walking, sort of awkwardly, looking to find his way downstairs. And you're upstairs in
What's
the
wrong
room.
with the honey?
He'll go and put the bag down. So he won't answer her immediately. And
Okay.
then he'll say, there is a time coming where we remember those that have passed and ensure that they remain calm and fed and connected.
Like that bloke down at the tower.
That bloke down at the tower.
You know, the guy what got killed. Jonathan.
These are people that have died but still remain.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like ghosts.
Exactly like ghosts, Nangisel, yes.
Right. I got it. Sorry.
And they should not be forgotten,
No, agreed.
nor left to go hungry. Now, we should be about our evening.
All right.
And as you are getting ready to leave the room, as if on cue, all remaining dogs in Janice's room, which are quite a few, there's still at least 8 to 10 dogs of various sizes, including Duchess. All of them perk up, ears up, and look somewhat in the same direction towards the door as the door slams itself shut.
What the hell's going on?
And then all dogs sort of relax, go about their business, but they start to gravitate towards Yanis, seeking a little bit of comfort.
Yeah, he will kind of run his hands over them as they go by. So, as I say, Nangisel, it is time soon to appease those who are restless.
They're doing this? Or they're shutting the door then?
Some might tell you it is a draft in the house, for it is an old house, but...
Well, they don't know no better, do they?
This house has seen much tragedy in its years, and there are those who have met a most unpleasant end. A time will come when they will be able to rest, and we have finished our work. But that time is not yet here, and in the meantime they must be provided for, hence the honey. But when the time comes, you will be able to help us in this.
All right. Sounds good. Let me know if you need nothing else for that time.
Well, perhaps you could acquire us some good quality vodka.
Sure. Does it matter where it's from? You want Polish stuff?
I would prefer it.
All right.
But the most important thing is the quality.
All right. I'll sort some out.
Thank you.
So where are Nangisel and Janice? What are they doing? Where are they going?
I better go back to the Haven.
Oh, to the HQ.
Go back to the HQ. Sorry, yeah.
Okay, so
See
let me
about apologising.
Sorry, yes.
So Yanis will say to Nangisel, I will come to join you as soon as I can. I have something to attend to first.
All right. Well, I gotta go and say sorry to Clarence. So I suppose I better get out of the way, aren't I?
You feel you have wronged him,
No.
yet you are apologising.
Well, Matty said I should do it, and in a fit of, I don't know, I agreed anyways. And I've agreed. What means I got to do it now, right?
Yes, one should keep their word.
Right. Exactly.
Always.
But
Well-
I told her I'm not going to mean it.
You would keep your word to apologise, but not keep your word and give an apology.
Of course I'll give it. I just, I don't think I was wrong is all.
Perhaps we will talk on this another time.
All right. I'll make my way to the HQ.
Okay. So Carl,
Yes.
you wake up.
I wake up with a start. As even from 4 miles away, I can hear Nangisel has started to play the guitar.
Yeah, you're in your haven in the Bristol Old Vic.
Yeah.
Sort of an easy night tonight. No plays. There's still some people in the bar around the area, and then in Kong's opposite to it. What are Carl plans for the evening?
Well, my plans for the evening, as we didn't get to have a coterie meeting last night, because we all had to disappear off, is to have a coterie meeting now and talk about the vision. That's what I really wanted to do. So that's the plan, and that's what I would have told everybody before we scattered last night. Most likely, I'd have said we still haven't done this, and we need to do it kind of as a group.
It would have been likely that Matilda mentioned that she would be available probably after midnight.
Okay, so we'll be doing that after midnight. Well, I wake up and I thought, I'd had enough to eat and drink the last night, but I think the very idea of Giselle playing the guitar suddenly makes me feel a bit hungry. So, so I probably.
I'm all right at playing the guitar.
Yeah, no, I've written a song. I've written a song for her to sing now that she's a member. It seems, because I picked this up. I'm perceptive. Last night that she was kind of going on about being, in with Yanis. So I've written this song that goes like this, which is for her. Look at the tree, look at the flower. This time of year makes us exult. For in nature there is a power, but don't forget we're not a cult. And then the chorus goes, we are the children of summer. The sun shines bright, which is a bummer. The nights are short, and we're vampiric. So if you see the sun, it's not terrific. Children of winter might have been better. We'd have more time at night. Okay, we'd need gloves and maybe a sweater. But at least it wouldn't be so fucking light. We are the children. We are the children. Etc. There's the chorus.
Please show me that, and I will sing it.
I mean, yeah, the summer, like in northern or southern latitudes, that thing of having like super long nights in the summer, in the winter, but very short nights in the summer, it can be a bummer.
Yeah. So I was like, she's joined them, has she? Oh well, never mind.
What are Carl's plans for the first part of the night until roughly close to midnight?
Well, probably go and meet up. I know, obviously, that Matilda's not available, but the other two might be. But I think first of all, I'd like to possibly feed, and then go and ingratiate myself again with the London Four, because I know that they're still feeling a bit fragile, a bit neglected, and to see if they want any kind of entertainment. Maybe I can take them out for the evening somewhere with permission, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Until 12 midnight, at which point, go and talk to people.
Well, for Carl, this is going to be like a fairly straightforward matter. You're just feeding the one hunger, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll be able to do this given the area and your disciplines, and it'll take you about an hour to be sorted and ready.
All right.
And you do secure permission to move the guests to Camarilla territory, not far from where your domain is. Domain of other Toreador. You sort of make a couple of comments, talk to the right people, send a few messages, but they're very harmless. They're not vampiric in kind. They say, hey, I have a few friends, can I drop over? More of the social kind. And it's very simple. I mean, Carl has a good status, very good status amongst the Camarilla as Master of Revels, and also amongst the Toreador in general of the city. So it's very easy for him to secure a place where there is going to be is one of these 2-story pubs with a balcony on the second floor. Once you arrive, the balcony has been sort of reserved area for guests. So you can take Oscar, Clarence, and Laura, all of them appropriately dressed to conceal most of their features, especially like the idea of do that on the balcony is mainly so they have an excuse to keep whatever hats and scarves and things they have so they don't take them off, to protect their identity, but also you are safe in Camarilla territory, making sure that they are at least entertained, and this is a very welcome thing for all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Clarence likes to pose as a smoker, so that's another good reason to stay out on the balcony.
Yes, and it's actually, this is the moment in which, even though you do tell them in advance, this is going to be like Cinderella style. By midnight, we have to be back because there's business to attend. Yep. But even if it was an hour and a half, 2 hours, you managed to make it 2 hours. It's 2 hours of them getting to talk to people, getting to chat, mostly with other kindred, although there is the slight conversation maybe over the bar or, things like that. Oscar even relaxes, feels a little bit less wound up. And Annie at some point turns to
there's
you.
There's no Tamichi around, so that's got to help.
Exactly.
Oscar, really.
Exactly. And Annie at some point turns around. She's still with a hoodie, and she has taken on the fashion advice you gave her the previous night. So she looks less like less of a wreck. She's more mundane looking tonight. She doesn't want to draw attention to herself, other than her shark toy plush.
Yes,
shark plushie.
But that's fine. That's an accessory we can live with.
Yeah. She turns around and says, "You're a good person, Carl."
Oh, Annie, thank you so much for saying that. Well, some people say that I might be a little, but I like to think that I have, hidden depths sometimes. And of course, looking after you four has been, right up there in my order of importance. And so I'm very glad that you're enjoying this evening, and I'm sorry that I have been rather distracted of late and unable to help you in this way.
No, it was not your fault. You didn't know. And I mean, I've never encountered someone who was so willing to make amends and to make things right.
You have had such an awful time of it in London. All your friends and your sire and everybody just taken away from you, many of them meeting their final death. It is the least I could do, really, to make you welcome when you've had such an awful experience.
Thank you. And you see her, and for a moment, her face is the face of someone who is not at all haunted by visions or destruction. No, she just looks very clear-headed, very herself. When she just reaches out and grabs her hand and says, "I do mean it. You're a good person. Thank you.
You are kind, and thank you." Now, I must say, I kind of whisper a little to her. I say, "Do you think that Oscar may be in danger of having a good time this evening?"
She laughs and she says, "Let's make sure he does." And
Yes.
she goes to the bar, asks for some music, and then comes back to the balcony and starts dancing to Oscar. Oscar does not react, so she starts dancing the shark plushie in front of him, and until he sort of like shakes his shoulders a little bit, and everybody has a laugh. I think he caves in, but not totally. And it's actually a very wholesome thing. And once you're in the car, actually no one is complaining that they have to go or anything. No, they are just thinking, appreciating what just happened, which, well, each of them will have their own thoughts, but at least Annie had voiced hers.
Yes. I mean, I'll probably have a chance to speak to each of them. I don't want to need to roleplay them all, but
No, it's more of a engaging, an evening where they finally find a little bit of solace and a little bit of a distraction.
Good.
Meanwhile, in another part of the city, there is a very, hopefully well-dressed Matilda. So,
okay, so she's wearing like a nice blouse and some nice trousers. She's not wearing anything. I think Abasi said pretty. It's probably not pretty, but it is smart.
it is, yes. He said, like, it's definitely, at the very least, smart. Obasi tends to be, like, the time, like, I think that you have only seen him once without a suit.
Yeah.
And it's because he had taken the jacket off and there was some blood in his shirt. So he tends to dress really well.
Right. Okay.
So you're dressed smart.
Yeah.
You go to the agreed place, which is basically one of the NCPs, one of the car parks, sort of removed from the center.
Yeah. Right.
Where another car will be waiting for you.
Okay.
And once you open the door to that car, you can see Obasi sitting in the back seat, waiting for you.
I will join him in the back seat then.
Obasi is a very, very striking man. He has this sort of rough attractiveness. He's very attractive, but he's more of the powerful, physically and sort of his aura. This is this black man with very short hair, very, very regal features, and also his pose is always sitting correct. He has gold. A couple of gold rings around his fingers. Nothing too tacky. Actually, it enhances the way he looks. And he has a suit, a tan 3-piece suit that goes very well as a contrast with his dark skin. And he turns around and he says, "I am glad you have joined me tonight."
Sorry, it wasn't sooner.
No matter. Off we go. The car starts rolling, and he breaks the silence after a few minutes. He has a briefcase between the two of you, and he's eyeing some documents until he puts everything away and says, "So tell me, Matilda, how have your guests endured the lockdown?"
They're fine. Thank you for asking. Seem content.
Content is good. Content makes me happy.
Good. I wouldn't want you to be unhappy.
No, you wouldn't. Now, the situation in London is worrisome. You see, many of my clan had assets there. Many of our clan assets were firmly based in London. Which means that the assets of Grace Brooks were also tied in London. run by one of our clansmates who disappeared.
Right. We have no word on where they are.
Now, have you had any contact with your sire?
I haven't spoken to her in years.
That is sad news indeed.
So, what are you saying? You're saying that she was in London at the time? Or you're saying...
We're trying to understand the situation, but it is hard to tell. We are not using many electronic means. Last night I took a risk in calling you at your mobile. But
Yes.
what is the sentiment of the Annex regarding the refugees? Have you heard anything?
No, I mean, not beyond casual conversation. Why don't you ask them yourself? You go to court.
Because I have been busy keeping the Camarilla in check.
Have you? And how do the Camarilla feel about the refugees?
They are frightened. Not of those who arrived, but of what chased them out. Are you frightened, Matilda?
Everyone's a bit frightened at the moment.
Good, good. Sensible, smart. That's the power you have. It's in your veins, Matilda.
There's nothing like that in my veins.
So you say. We have arrived. And the car pulls to a stop. He steps down, goes around the car and opens the door for you. And
Guess out?
and once you're walking, you realize that it looks like a very small and private party. It's like a small private gathering. He offers you his arm. Sorry,
do I have any sense of where we might be in the city? If I've been keeping a check of like...
Oh, yes. You are in Redland.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
it's not like you're not miles away. But it's a secluded area.
Okay.
He offers you his arm. And you see people are dressed casual. Smart, casual, or smart. And some are a lot more than smart. Like a lot more.
Do I feel that... Do they look like kindred?
No, actually, this seems like a very mundane affair. You do see University of West of England banners around.
Right.
It takes you very little time to realize this is a fundraiser for the university.
Okay. Right. I'm going to look at him and be like, I don't understand.
Well, the university is very important, Matilda. It might sit in Anak territory, but they're students. They're the lifeblood of the young generation of Bristol. Also, I have more than a few projects that are run by university staff. It's an investment, and a good one.
Good for you.
He starts shaking hands with people on the higher echelons of the university, and of course introducing you, his assistant on his firm, a law student right here from Bristol.
Just nod along as he's doing that. Sort of play along a little bit, do my best to not sort of expose an awful pit in my stomach that's there. Is he as I look around, do I see anyone that I recognize, or
A couple of the people that are working Chronicle
yeah?
seem youngish enough to be the type of people you would recognize. There is one person that definitely clocks you, and you don't recognize them immediately, but you go like, where have I seen them? And then when they turn around, you go like, oh yes, they play football.
Cool. Nice. All right. I will then just ignore that and stay back. Stay in the same conversational circle with the Bassi, because I don't really want to.
Yeah, very short
away.
conversations, but very, very important ones. So people would be making donations in important numbers. But shortly thereafter, everybody's left to their own devices, and Obasi asks you to walk with him in a place where the two of you can share a quiet word.
So as soon as we're alone, I'll be like, "You proven a point."
Matilda, I'm very worried. I'm worried about the city. It worries me.
You are in a position of a lot of power. You can make things change if you'd like. You can try and make some positive changes. You don't have to sit and worry.
That's what worries me, Matilda. Now the Camarilla are gaining the upper hand. And I don't think that's good.
Because you think there's going to be some retribution, some counteraction.
I'm afraid it might be so. You see, this group of refugees, some of them will try to establish themselves as citizens of the city. That means Bristol is a safe haven for all of them, for all who will make the trip and follow the rules. The Camarilla numbers will grow slowly, but definitely in a short period of time. And there was already a very delicate balance, Matilda. Yes, I am in a position of power, but sitting where I am, I cannot undermine my own brothers and sisters.
So you would like the refugees out as well, then?
I cannot close the door on those who seek refuge. That is the way of a coward.
What do you want, Abasi?
To understand how can we rebalance this. You are an anarch, and you have multiple friends. You are well liked. Sure, you can think of something. Let me help you. Let's bring balance back before the city burns.
Right, let's get something clear. I also don't want these refugees to stay. I mean, some of them can, but I don't want all of them to stay. I understand there's a delicate balance, and I don't want that to be toppled. But I'm not gonna. And I appreciate that we share the same ideas, but I'm not gonna do it because you asked me. I'll do it if I want to.
He sucks his teeth. This is not the time to find the desire to do things, Matilda. Go. Speak to your friends. Speak to your representatives. And see what they think. You will change your mind soon enough. But what I want to know is, how can I help prevent escalation? And if so, How can we make it fast? If I need to act through you, or teach, or any other, I will do so.
Well, you're aware that Jonathan Fowler died in our domain.
Yes. And that's why
you could do whatever you're able to do to prevent fingers being pointed in the wrong direction, to de-escalate that. It's already a tricky situation.
Do you know who was involved in his death?
I have no idea who was involved in his death.
Are you in your coterie investigating, or are you delegating?
Ah, which is why I couldn't see you until now.
Well, do me a favor. Keep me informed. And if you need resources, I can have Caleb send you all the help you want. Camarilla help. Autarkis help. I can even pull some strings and get some Anarch help.
I appreciate your generosity. I have a question though. I understand the nature of our relationship is different and we have history, but there is a Camarilla representative in my domain. Why not contact him? Why not offer him this?
Because Carl de Toro, lovely a man as he is, I have no life boon over him, Matilda. And he says it in a way that the weight of the world drops on your shoulders.
Yeah.
He makes the last, actually, to his credit, makes the last moments of your stay in that fundraiser, which is basically a touch and go. You don't stay there more than an hour and a half. Tops. It's a short matter. You get to mingle with some people. You will see now a couple of professors that you will recognize. One of them would have seen you in one of their lectures, probably. And you get a little bit of that interaction before you're taken back. He asks if you want to be dropped somewhere or directly to your car.
I'll ask him to drop me maybe like a few streets away from my car just so I can have a walk and just get some fresh air.
He does that, and when you're getting out of the car, when you open the door, he reaches out and holds your wrist and say, Matilda.
I think instinctively she'd just kind of pull away a little bit.
I do mean well for this city. You do know that, do you?
No. I don't.
Give it time. You'll see. You'll see. And he just dismisses you. Sits up straight.
Yeah. Just watch the car as it leaves. And walk to my own car.
Anything she's thinking about? Any thoughts?
Yeah, just sort of head all over the place, I think. Is a little bit anxious about going back to the coterie after that. Well, I think she'd probably, once she gets to her car, drive around, even if it's going to make her a little bit late, but just to kind of steady herself a little bit, and only go to the Haven or go to HQ when she feels like she's that none of what has just happened is going to show.
Okay. Janice, the night is still young for you. You have the honey that Zane has brought. Then Nangisel starts making her way to HQ. There's not much movement. Quickly after Zane goes downstairs, you see him and Evanila walk, carrying some bags, into sort of like the back garden that turns into the little area of like wooded area in your haven, and they get lost in there. They have a flashlight that Sane is carrying.
Sure. I mean, actually, Janis is not that. I mean, he will fondly watch them go, but he's actually going out. He's going to take Duchess and go and find a friend.
Mm-hmm. So you go to church without going to church.
Yeah, I'm not going into the church. What I'm thinking is I will go to the outskirts of the grounds, and I will be watching to see if it looks like there are any lights still on in the church.
There are. This is mid-November, mid to late November 2012.
Yeah.
So the clocks have been put back some weeks ago. So basically, it's dark after 5-ish. That's
wonderful.
At around 5-ish in the afternoon, it's already dark. So that's around 5:30, maybe tops 6 p.m. That's when Nangisel would have had her conversation with Zane. So by the time you get to the church, it's no later than 7. Yeah, no later than 7, I would imagine.
So I will come to a stop, kind of at the edge of the church grounds, and I will ruffle the Duchess's ears and say, "Would you see if you would call out our friend? He might come for you."
She walks a little bit towards the side and she starts barking really that deep. Vroom, vroom. Like it looks like an engine that is stalling and trying to be turned on, like massively loud barking. And then from a window, a man with glasses peers out, taking them down and up to see, and then opens the window, waves at you, puts the window down, goes outside. Not puts the window down, closes the window, because the window he never took it from where it was, because English. And Janis, great seeing you here, friend.
Michael, we've missed you. It's been too long. The Duchess and I were wondering if you might have time for a little walk.
If you don't mind waiting a few minutes, I'll be right back.
We're happy to wait. Of course.
Excellent. Would you like to wait inside?
Oh no, we'll enjoy the fresh air.
Well, it's kind of nippy, if you ask me, but sure. I mean, you and the Duchess are welcome in the house of the Lord, so you can seek refuge from the weather there.
I'm afraid certain paws are a little muddy to be gracing your house tonight.
Okay, yeah, I'll be right back. He goes in. Not maybe 5 minutes later, tops, he comes out. Now he's wearing a coat. He puts on some gloves and a beanie. Like, so what brings you again around this area? I was expecting to receive a notice that you would come. Usually you let me know in advance.
Yes, I'm sorry to appear unannounced. Before we get onto business, I was wondering about your niece. Has she had the baby yet?
Yes, indeed, beautiful baby, bless her soul. Her name is Sarah. Baby's name is Sarah. She is now. It must be 2 months. I'm gonna say almost 3 months old now. So it
has been too long, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Yes. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very blessed. Thank you.
That is good. You are right. Of course, it is not customary for me to appear so abruptly and without warning. But I have missed our talks, my friend, and well, I was wondering if I might indulge in one of our discussions that we have from time to time.
Sure thing. What do you want to discuss now?
Well,
because every time...
No, we
is a little different, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it is. We have always, despite some of our differences, found common ground. And I've always cherished the friendship that we have had. So I thought of you for, I've been in a situation where I've been failing to find common ground. And it does not sit well with me. I wanted to ask, I know that sometimes in your duties there are those who, for various reasons, will come to you in search of support or sanctuary in times of need. And that you have always provided such things, I imagine.
Yes.
I, too, have from time to time took those into my home who have been unable to find sanctuary elsewhere. And I am normally happy to do so. But have you ever had someone come who you have not wanted to let into your home? You have not trusted, and yet you have seen that they have needed your assistance.
Let's see. I have found myself in such a situation. But
have you ever had someone whose very presence drives you to distraction, and yet there is no option but to have them close by?
Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling. Peter, verses 4-9. I think we are all most likely to find ourselves in a situation where we must offer hospitality to someone that our hearts at some point might not being in the right place, might not want to have them. And as Peter chapter 4 verses 8-9 has said, accepting and offering hospitality without grumbling it sounds more like an instruction, like a demand, one that will help you temper your own soul. He was faithful to the one who appointed him, just as Moses was faithful in all God's house. Hebrews chapter 3 verse 2. Just as Moses was faithful in all God's house.
Michael, what I want to know is, how do you do this? When it has happened to you in the past, how have you kept to your vows? And how have you not followed your heart?
Now that you asked that question, and he sort of has this sad smile. Michael is a man well into his 60s. White hair, sunglasses, a round face, slightly chubby, lovely demeanor. His balding head covered by his beanie. And he says, Janus, the same way I have dealt with everything over these past 40 years. I must have fallen in love twice per decade and never succumbing. Because my vows are there. My flock needs me.
Yes. All right.
So the way I do it is out of the vows I made and out of the dedication I have for those who also preach the word and follow its teachings. Out of that respect that was given in that bond, when they allow me to be their shepherd. And I gladly helped them shoulder the burden of their lives. That's when I do the extra effort. If I find it difficult for someone to be my guest, then I go out of my way and I treat them even better than what I would like to be treated. Because hospitality is not just about providing room and board. We do that with those in need, those without a house. I don't like the term homeless. They don't need a home. They can make a home anywhere, even in the streets, when they huddle against one another and help their fellow brothers and sisters in the time of need. What these people need is a house, and we sometimes offer it to them. And by offering them a place to be, well, that should be enough, right? Wrong. Because it's not their bodies that are starved from a home. It's their souls that are starved of love. It's their hearts that are starved of attention, of that human touch, that connection.
Yes, connection, you're right. They are unrooted.
Exactly.
Sure. I have been a bit of a fool, Michael.
Nah, nonsense. Janus, we all find ourselves in those crossroads. We just need to choose the right path.
And the right friends to help us navigate them.
Absolutely. So when will you accept my invitation to see my library, and we can discuss those topics that fascinate you so much?
Soon, perhaps. But unfortunately, your wise words send me in a different direction. I have amends to make.
How are your faithful, your children over the summer?
Growing up quickly, and doing good work. It is a lovely thing to see them flourish. Though you say, of course, that you have never had children of your own. You have many children.
Yes,
as I do, and
I have found. I'm sorry.
No. It's been too long. Please.
Yeah. Well, I have found something, perhaps for our next conversation, that might make you see the point I made. I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years.
About some of the days that you and yours hold special, and how they're connected to our Christian faith, and the similarities.
Well,
I will show them to you. You are worshiping the same God as I am, but you have chosen to call him by another name. I am almost certain of this.
I would say that there are similarities, of course. This feels like a road we have walked many times together.
Indeed.
But,
bring your chess game next time.
I will. I will indeed. I take it you've been practicing.
No, I'm still bad at it, but at least it gives us something to do while we talk.
Yes.
And then the rest of the walk with Michael is delightful. You keep talking about less deep things, more.
Yeah.
Of a couple of friends keeping in check, checking each other and how things are. So eventually, Janus will also make his way towards the headquarters. Now, before the rest of you arrive to HQ, there is one lone, solitary, and brave figure that ventures through the door of HQ. a leather
Alright, let's go
bound,
with-
a leather bound hero or heroine
Don't judge a book by its cover.
steps through the threshold, and the first head to turn around is Annie's.
So is she like in the main living room or such?
She is downstairs in the cloakroom. Sort of,
Okay.
well, not cloakroom. It's the big space that is used for storage, all the dresses for the plays, and it's sort
okay,
of
right.
like your front.
Okay, so I'll say where are you, Anne? Where's Clarence to?
Clarence, he's downstairs. You want me to go fetch him?
That's alright, I'll go.
Is Ryan? And she just looks at you as you go downstairs.
Okay.
Oh,
So she asked me if it was alright.
no, she's.
Oh,
looking
she
at
just
you.
said alright, okay, sorry, understood. I will I'll wander downstairs then, see who else is down there. Apart from Clarence.
Just Clarence reading his book.
Okay. So I'll knock on the door.
Coming in.
Thanks. Mind if I shut the door?
Oh, not at all. Please. And he closes the door and places it on the bed next to the bag that is packed right there at the foot of the bed.
I'll close the door. And I'll so there are 4 beds here, aren't there?
Yes.
So can I sit opposite him?
Yes.
Like on another bed?
Yes.
Yeah? So I'm facing him. So I'll sit down and I'll say,
In Annie's bed, actually.
okay. I mean, won't really register for Nange. But I'll say, I thought it might be sensible if you and I had a talk.
Yes.
Been thinking about things since yesterday. Reflecting on a lot of different things. And I came to a few conclusions.
Care to share them?
Struck me that you know what it's like to not be able to get the places you want to be. More than that it was something I'd forgotten about recently till someone else showed me a different route. The more I thought about it, the more I realised why it would act you off so much. You can't go out. You can't do nothing. On top of that, we've not been helpful to you in that. Not in the slightest. So I owe you an apology. And that's what I came here to make.
I see.
I don't think it's a good enough thing to sit here and say you're sorry. Point of fact. Sticking by words you give is important. And when we got asked to look after you all, gave my word that I'd do it. I haven't done a good job, not thus far. So it seems to me like, in addition to that apology, I'd like to offer you a minor boon. You're staying here, in this city, that's what you want to do.
It is.
which means that has more value to you than not. You might not think it because we haven't already spoken since you got here, but there are things in this city I'm pretty good at, even if hospitality ain't one of them. So it might be useful for you. Now, if you don't want to accept this apology, I will understand. But I'm making it nonetheless.
Well, allow me to start by saying apology accepted. Nanyusel, thank you very much for taking the time and effort. I must also apologize. Tempers got flared last night and I was frustrated. That is no excuse, of course. It is very generous of you to offer a minor boon. I would definitely would like to remain here, in the city. My clan seems awfully underrepresented in certain circles. I have asked around about, well, the whole of the coterie.
Right.
And I have heard how competent can you be. So in the spirit of fairness, and me also apologizing for my behavior, allow me to offer you a minor boon in return for your services. For I would like your assistance once this situation is subsided, in order to improve my standing and that of the gangrel in the city. With a little bit of your help, I believe that can be done. And then we would owe boons to each other, which would make me happy, as I would get the opportunity to actually go through the registration process.
Right. It's long-winded, mind. I mean, you got to make sure you got enough hours. Only you got to take postcards and shit down to what's his name, Uber.
But
apparently likes him.
I was under the impression that was only used for major boons. So yes, any of these nights we could go to one of the areas of the what's the acronym? The LIN, the Library Information Network.
The library, right? Yeah,
that
network.
One, that one. You know it. Yes.
Yeah, we can go down. And,
yes, the Bear Pit would be a good place. Talk to one of the homeless people there, offer them some money or food, and then they would send word of the boon, and then Hubert will summon us, and that would start my...
It's like setting up your credit score on it.
Yes, that is exactly what Hubert said. It is like a credit score here. Yes, like how good, like boon credit something. I mean, they have it.
It's a lot of words.
Yes,
but it basically means whether or not they trust you.
I like it because there is order there, and there is things have a place and a way of being done, even amongst factions. It's still a little too much for my mind, but I like that aspect of this city. That's one of the reasons I want to stay here.
Does seem to work out, in spite of everything.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Perhaps we should walk down that place, right? Then you can get out a bit.
Yes, well, not tonight. Carl mentioned that he wanted to make amends and sort of take us out for a ride or something to distract our minds. But worry not. I am making sure everybody is absolutely well disguised and covered. No one will show who they are. Everybody will be safe.
Good. And if Carl's inviting you out, you should go, because he knows how to give people a good time.
Excellent. He stands up very straight and offers you his hand to shake.
So if he's offered his hand out like that, I'll take it like that.
Okay.
And shake it.
Like instead of a shake, it's more like a bro shake. And he quickly adjusts to it, and says,
"He's more sociable than I am."
Thank you.
Thanks, Clarence.
Thank you. And then he goes upstairs, goes into the same room where Annie is, and they start getting all these clothes. So when Carl comes, they can be picked up, and then all the events that happen later, as I described, take place. What would Nan Giselle be doing during the 2 odd hours she's going to be around the domain?
I mean, if I can, I'll have a little bit of an assessment of what they're going to wear, and if any of it is like Midsummer Night's Dream or King Lear or whatever.
That's how it started with Annie. You change her clothes. Exactly. She doesn't look like a train wreck because of you.
I'll probably just offer one of them my coat, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah. So they don't have to wear stage stuff. But otherwise, I'll check in with Annie. I probably want to chat to her a bit separately.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't necessarily have to happen now. Otherwise, I will probably play my guitar a bit.
Okay.
Or see if I can find something like that. Sit around him.
You're gonna be alone for about 2 hours until midnight when the coterie when Carl will return them and the coterie will arrive. So you have a couple of hours to yourself.
If any of them are interested in music, then I'll chat to them about it. But otherwise, I'll leave them to their own thing.
Oh well, yeah. Carl arrives shortly after you finish your conversation with Clarence, so you're quickly left to your own devices, and then we will go to a break. And on our return, the coterie convenes to discuss, murder, betrayal, and diablerie. Now, a massive shout out to our super in-house resident Tagul Mitch, because he's amazing and lovely. An enormous shout out to Sam for my co-storyteller. He's the one who keeps me, on the rails, and we had a really important conversation of what awful things we would do to the character. Where did we want to take the story?
Even he can't get you out of a comfy hoodie.
But sadly, he couldn't beat the comfy hoodie. Sorry, Sam. I was really comfy, and I forgot, and then I fell asleep later. And a massive shout out to my players for being so patient and playing the first 15 to 20 minutes of this session twice. I mean, they have to listen to me. Some of them already. That is
my dream, Carlos.
Yeah.
If I'm honest with you, yeah.
Playing repeated scenes. So
Groundhog Day, the role-playing game.
Yeah, Groundhog Day. It's like, so you are again in this scene. So you're again in this scene. So
it just means I can show you my brilliance again.
Just do it differently next time. I know that FC doesn't like that. I'll punch him this time. Yeah.
It gave me longer to write the Celt song, to be honest.
Yes,
so
you had. I loved it. I love a song that is a cult on the summer where it should be winter. Yes, I agreed. But it is just shy of 20 to 9. We will go for a 15-minute break. So to make things round and numbers in your head, we will be back at 5 to 9 or 5 to 10 if you're in Europe, or just after this short break if you're from the podcast. So until then, see you after the break.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello and welcome back for part 2 of episode 7 of Blood on the Severn. And we left it with our coterie finally finding themselves together at headquarters, HQ. Carl returns with the guests from London, who all seem very happy, very. They you can see them see it in their faces. Even Oscar looks less stiff until he sees Janus. But I mean, for that brief moment of time, that brief period, those perhaps 10 nanoseconds, he looked like happier.
I make an effort to not look surly. Probably just means I look miserable. I think.
So everybody really, they are quite happy and chatty. They say hi to everybody, and they just go in and upstairs, and they turn on the TV and start chatting amongst themselves. So it looks a little bit more lively, less miserable. And now,
Well, that's good.
the stage is yours, guys.
Well, I think we should go somewhere where we won't be overheard. I imagine we have somewhere like that.
Well, usually it's
Sounds right to
headquarters,
me.
but there's 4 kindred, and at least one, maybe 2 of them might have the disciplines necessary to overhear, even if they don't want to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't care about one of them because she knows what we're going to say anyway. But
yeah, exactly.
I can
But
drive us somewhere.
yeah, the other one would be bad. Maybe.
Yeah, you can drive us somewhere. Good plan.
Yeah,
Let's
but I
do
think
that.
we should probably. I think we should yes make ourselves scarce
Okay.
from our friends upstairs.
So
as we're trotting out to the car, Jazz will say to Carl, looks like you did some good work tonight, Carl.
Well, you know me, attempting to be the genius and all. I thought they needed to be put at their ease a little.
Yes.
Although,
Yes, you're quite right. You're quite right. You tried to tell me from the outset, and I didn't listen.
Well, I'm used to that, of course, obviously, Janus. But
Yes,
but I'm
You
also
should
I'm
stay
also
used to it, Carl.
I'm also used to you coming around in the end. So that's good. But I would do the same. If I was wrong. Or if I had got something just. I know it's just very difficult. I mean, why Teach had to put a Tremere, knowing your clan. I mean, it may be to do with some kind of sense of humor or something, but
or lack of one. But nevertheless, you had the right of it. It does not matter where they came from. They were our guests, and they should have been treated as such. And you, Carl, you treated them that way, and I should have done the same.
They are refugees, are they not? We
Yes.
hear of human versions of such poor unfortunates on the news, often stranded in boats in the Mediterranean or the like. And my heart goes out to them. And when we had a chance to help these,
Well, it seems like things are all right now. Clarence has
Good.
decided to stay, so
Oh, did you do it?
we had a chat. Now he's fine.
well done. I know
What
that
do you mean,
probably
well
wasn't
done?
easy for you. Well, to
What are you for
talk
me
to
to
him.
what?
After you spoke to him yesterday in such a way to make sure that he wouldn't leave was
I'm glad you think I care if he leaves or not, which I don't. But he ain't leaving, so it's all right.
well, there you go. Thank you.
Good enough for me.
Absolutely.
So you all
Did you mean what you said, Nanjazal, to him?
Turns out it was all right.
Good.
So the coterie makes their way to the Matilda Mobile.
Right.
Na coterie.
Do we want to go somewhere public? Not public, but like, do we want to go inside? Do we want to find somewhere?
Somewhere we won't be overheard, really.
I mean, I presume I know many places we can go where
Yes.
we won't be heard.
Yes, Nigel knows
So I will
quite
direct
a few
us to
places.
one.
Yes, I will take the lead from Manchester.
I mean, FYI, Carl, it's not going to be your kind of place.
I'm used to being overheard. As you know, Nanjazal, I positively welcome it normally.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we can go somewhere, probably a tunnel somewhere.
A tunnel. Right.
Lovely.
I
Actually-
look slightly worried, and I do say to Nanjazal,
It's fine.
there won't be any of your Nosferatu friends here, will there? At all?
Actually,
Yeah,
Nanjazil has the perfect place to go. It is an area near the IKEA, but
Nice.
underneath the
Flat Hack Haven. Cool.
So, yeah, but it's not IKEA. It's like you drive past the IKEA and then you go around. You get off of the roads there, and there is on the underpass of all those, like the roads going over it, and the elevado when the road goes over the air.
Oh yeah, the
overpass.
yeah.
Or...
Overpasses.
overpass, yeah.
Thank you, because English. There underneath, there is an area nearby underneath that is like pretty desolate after like dark. Now it's midnight, and this is the area that your friend Nosferatu neighbor, and
Yeah, I'm a neighbor.
and Haven mate, is around usually.
Yep.
So you can secure a place where he's not around.
Yeah.
You can just let him know I need a place to have a chat, and he knows. So he just lets it slide.
Okay. So we'll go there.
Park
So we
aside.
should. This is outdoors, so I'll just prop myself up against the wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll plant my walking stick and settle in for the long haul.
Lean against the car and look at Carl.
I'll shiver slightly and look a bit bedraggled. And
It looks
really,
awful. The place is.
I'm not enjoying being here. Really,
No.
I know it's probably Nanj knowing my dislike for the aesthetically challenged.
What do you mean?
I mean, there's a few graffitis and stuff crudely made.
Graffitis. Oh, but badly drawn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But also, you can see the odd cigarette butts. What looks to be like a used condom. Like it is one of those disgusting places.
Yeah.
That's where I hang
Buddies.
around.
But-
That kind of place.
No
But
wonder you like sleeping up
Exactly.
to the
Yeah.
This is your other alternative.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
you are the only car under one of the very few lights that work, and you could see anyone walking in your direction 20, easy 30 meters away. Like you are in one of those flat areas that it's paved, not paved, it's like concrete, and during the day it might be used to park some cars or to do some stuff, maybe some skater boys around. No one right now, so it's open space for you to have a quiet chat.
So I'll say, now we're somewhere we can't be heard.
Yes, I
We
don't
should
know
have a
if
catch up. We need to talk about
I know that.
what you saw, and also we need to talk about Annie, just so you all know, because there is a problem there.
Oh,
Well, Carl first.
we're not being overheard, are we? I don't know if any.
Nope.
Do you have any rituals or anything such?
Did I not say it was bringing you here, and it was a place you weren't going to be overheard? And now
Absolutely,
you want
you
to
did. Of course, Nand, you did. But then there are certain clans who can hear things.
You know what? I weren't born
At
yesterday.
distance.
I know that.
Okay.
I mean, it looks pretty deserted to me.
Well, the reason that I didn't say anything last night to you two was I was waiting for Matilda, and this Annie and I saw. It was extraordinary. We went back in. We had a vision that went backwards in time, which I'd never experienced before. It made me realize exactly how much in her visions Annie must live and how lost she is because of that. Which was a difficult place to be, I would have thought. But aside from that, when we got back to the point at which Jonathan was diablerized Matilda, it was one of, at least ostensibly, it seemed to be someone from your faction who did this.
Did you see?
It
Did you see who it was?
It was someone who looked exactly like, and therefore probably was, but I'm not 100%, Roger Smith.
What? Roger
That
Smith,
makes-
you're
that
having a
makes-
laugh, aren't you?
That doesn't make any sense. There's
I know,
no
it
reason-
doesn't make any sense, but the other thing that was extraordinary about the situation that we saw was that Jonathan didn't fight him. It was as if he wanted it.
Are you sure it was Roger?
Well, it was someone who looked exactly like Roger. If I'm standing here and you're standing there, I would just naturally say that is Matilda there. But we know that that's
Can I
certain
try something?
members of
Can
our
I try
type.
something?
Yes.
Test this out.
What?
So I can look like something other than what I look like.
Yes.
What I'm wondering is whether if you saw me that way in like a vision, you would see how I thought I looked. See what I mean?
It was very clear, and as you know, the Malkavians are a clan who are able to do that as well. And
Right, but if it's a vision, right? That's my thinking. If it was
I agree. I agree.
Vision, and so say I in this circumstance look like made myself look something like Roger, right? In your vision, would you see me as Roger or would you see me as me? That's my
But when
point.
you do that, though, Nanj, you don't really look like somebody else that much.
No,
You
but
just
someone
look
was better at it than me. That's what
nondescript.
I'm saying.
no, but it's people who are good at it. People who can look exactly like
I'm saying,
Well, Nanj is quite good at what she does, but just
Yeah, no, I didn't mean.
it's not that.
If you're saying it's not
So
that, it's not that.
Carl will know because it has happened to him that whenever there is someone using other powers of the blood, when he has one of these premonitions, he has had it in one or two occasions that the person he sees is events as they unfolded by seen by any other bystander. Carl does not have the strength of control over his discipline to be able to pierce through such disciplines as obfuscate and the like. So it could fool you it is a possibility, but
it is a possibility, which is why I said it's somebody who looked exactly like him, and I know that people have the ability to make themselves look like other people. That's what I opened with, Nanj.
Right, but that broadens our. I mean, I'm not saying it right, and it might not be him, right? I agree with Matt. It don't make no sense. But then if we know, because the library will know, who else might have a deep enough control of their blood to make themselves look like this and has got beef with him, then that gives us a starting point.
But
Janusz, is that something that the library would know? Who can do that?
well, no. The library do not keep a record of everything everyone can do.
Did they ask me if I could see ghosts, and I told them yeah.
Well, they did not ask me that question.
But that's just Hubert messing with you, isn't it?
Why does he want to know if he's not going to record it down someplace?
Though,
Well, he
perhaps
asked me if I
should have asked me.
smoked. I mean, it's not,
But that
That's
you
weird as
smoking
well.
and me being able to see ghosts are not even close to being the same thing, are they?
I believe he asked me some
No.
nonsense about aliens.
Yeah, I got something too. Anyway,
The thing is, from your vision, I assume, and from the tracks that we saw, they were alone.
Well, the other
Why
thing is
go
that
to the lengths to
I saw a
disguise
vision.
oneself.
I saw a
when
vision
you're-
of Roger, and that's what my vision was. Now, was what I was seeing real anyway? It was a vision, and sometimes visions are
was my
metaphorical
question
to
as
some
well.
extent.
because you and Annie had a vision about Annie and Iron Fire, and that hasn't happened yet. I mean, I'm not saying
No, exactly. But
But if you're right, and this was you was deliberately trying to see something about this, what happened in the past, right? Even if you're
that
right,
was the point. That was what we were trying to do. But it is very, very difficult to control these things.
right, but you
Even with
said
someone who's
he
good
looked-
at it. Like,
You said he looked like he wasn't fighting against it. Now that tells me either he's not seeing the same thing what you are, or for some reason he's got some sort of kink around this, or somebody wants to do it, or he otherwise knows. He otherwise knows what this is. This is going to lead on to something else, right? But either way, could be that he thought someone was doing this to him, what wasn't who it was.
I imagine if Roger Smith wanted someone to accompany him on a walk, they would go whether they wanted to or not. And most likely, they would not even feel resistance
Right.
to such a thing.
That's
But
true.
if I was Camarilla and I wanted to get away with doing someone in this way, most obvious person to frame for it would be an anarch, right?
Exactly.
And the biggest anarch in the place is Roger, right?
Also,
But is
why
he not
come
the
to-
hardest person to frame?
No, I mean if I was
No,
being
because everyone-
uninventive.
I mean that an anarch of his stature is one that people will often know where he is. It is easy for him to have people who will vouch for where he was.
But you have just got to like the touch paper, haven't you?
He is
Yes.
very visible.
Right. And
So next question we have.
he's also very strong, right? So if you're one of the other factions and you think that he's not behaving how he should be, and you already got issues with Camarilla because a lot of people come here, then it's an easy thing to throw a firework into that, isn't it?
Carlos, I don't know if I should. There's one thing, just a rules thing. I don't know if I should take a stain. Maybe I should.
Always.
Yeah, you filthy
Because
man.
Because I should have gone to the Camarilla with it.
Yep.
And it's faction above all.
Yes, exactly. I was gonna award it at the end of the conversation.
Okay.
So, but yes.
There's time for you to build up more stains.
Yes, exactly. So I will let you know, depending on how this conversation goes, the number of stains that you could potentially garner.
Look, whether it was Roger or not, we can't say anything until we know for certain. We need to
So we
ascertain
gotta look
where
into-
he was 2 nights ago. We need to.
Got to find that out. We've got to look into Jonathan and see if we knew who his contacts were, who he did business with.
See,
I can probably have a look at doing that.
There
And
is another.
we also should look into Gareth's death, because
We've been doing
there is with some urgency, because they're supposedly linked. And perhaps if it is Roger, he killed him as well. I don't know.
There
Or
is something
if it's
that
not, then we
occurs-
will be able to prove that it's not Roger.
There's what.
There is something that occurs to me in all of this. When we went back and Oscar came with us, he confirmed that the magic used was of his clan,
Yes.
and indeed is a thing only those, shall we say, deep into their filthy practices would be able to master.
Sounds interesting.
And as such, it would be not just a member of their clan, but someone of standing. And his theory was that it might be a Tremere who was not of this gathering they have, this pyramid. That it would be perhaps, he suggested, an anarch or other Tremere, a rogue one.
So you think
But there
it
is
was
something
the
else that
annex?
occurs to me. Perhaps he wished to put this to the anarchs. But the thing that occurs to me is this. If there is a kindred who is willing to drink the soul of others, perhaps they have already drunk the soul of a Tremere. Perhaps that would be the way they were able to place those wards around the victim.
Do you know if Oscar knows if there's any Tremere magic, what could make you look like other than what you were? If he placed those wards, he was doing it in the middle of there. I know that was some sort of protection, but who knows?
If this is how this works, I mean, I don't know much about these things because, well, it's not something I've researched. But if you take on the abilities of the people whose souls you take, then perhaps they already ate someone who was able to change their shape in the same way that you can, and then ate a Tremere, and they're just going around. You know, it's some sort of horrendous Pokemon game for them.
What game?
What?
Oh, you're not down with the kids, oh well.
I am not
kids.
down.
Well, you know, I mean, when I'm saying kids, I mean.
You mean
really,
do I
really
sit with
young
children?
kids.
It's God.
Yes, I've
I don't
seen
think
you
I
do
can-
that, and I wish you. But
I mean, perhaps if I was telling them a story.
yes, yes, exactly. But you know.
Well, it seems to me we've got some investigating to do, right?
But
Yes.
to ask these questions of...
Oscar.
Oh, no, not of Oscar. I mean, about Roger Smith, to even
Right.
begin to investigate him in any sense is a dangerous thing indeed.
I don't think
it
we start with him. I
depends.
think we start with Jonathan.
Well, this is why I felt it was
Right.
important to tell Matilda, because she is our coterie anarch. That's why I didn't want to make it look, Matilda, as if I told other people and I was talking
You
about
might be
your
able
leader
to
behind your
find
back.
out where Roger was during the time of the attack without raising suspicion.
I mean,
There
Yeah.
is another thing. I mean, I may be in danger. This is why I asked for such secrecy,
What?
because
Why
are you in
well,
danger?
you know, from the Camarilla, if it gets out that for some reason, if Annie says what's happened, and she sees Roger and she goes, "That's
Right,
him.
well,
He's
so
the
so
man."
you've
who
told her
shot
not to, right?
Oh
You said-
yes, absolutely. But think of what clan she is. To be honest, then
She
then-
also
then
is
I
not to
could-
be trusted, just for your information.
Oh
Why?
yeah, you're going
Is
to
this
say-
about
Why
the
should she not
phone?
be trusted?
What? The phone? Yeah.
It's about the phone.
Phone? What
You know
phone?
she carries that shark around with her. Inside the
Yes.
shark, there's a phone what she's been using the whole time since she got here. Right? So
Perhaps you're gonna.
I found this out a day ago, and it was on my list of things to take it up with her, and then it never came to last night. But the point is, she is making it like, you know, I'm a kid, what needs my phone, etc. But actually, don't tie up, first of all, with the fact that she says she's got no friends. Second of all, she's the only person who's come here from London where weird shit happened and is still using her phone on a regular basis. So I minded to go in there and tear that shark apart and take the phone off her and see what's been what. But I thought, Carl, you might be able to get it off her.
Well, I
a bit
admire your
rude.
restraint for not already having put her in a box, to be honest. But yes, I might. If now that I know, I can ask her to hand it over.
Puts us in a
like
difficult
everybody
Talk
else.
to her
position.
about
Because
it.
if it turns out that is something, then they'll be wondering why we didn't say nothing beforehand. So what we could do is you could talk to her. If you can get her to leave the shark behind, I can get hold of the phone and have a look at her. See what's what. Because there might be other information. And these two things might not be linked, right? But they might be.
It cannot be good for a child of
Plus-
that age to be carrying one of these things. in any
Beyond
case.
anything else, it does mean she's come in here, agreed to do something in your domain, and I haven't done it.
I'm aware of this.
I think you have to
So-
have a word with her, Carl.
Well, I think so. I mean,
It might be that she doesn't mean any harm and she just.
well,
You
yes.
know what?
That is irrelevant.
It is irrelevant, and it is also the fact that just because she looks like a girl, don't mean she don't mean no harm.
Understood. She is a rather tormented girl, though. That's why.
Yes,
So-
she does need help.
She
I
does.
agree.
What's why
But
I
that's-
haven't taken it off her by force.
But that, whatever it is not the help she needs.
Exactly.
No, absolutely. No more screen time for Annie. I absolutely.
But Carl, she don't know that I've told any of you this, right? So you're gonna have to find a way to discover it inside the shark, or just draw her away and let me take it out. You're good with people, aren't you? You can do that.
Well, you don't want me to say Nanjazal's told me that. But you.
Well,
I mean,
you can say it if you want to. I just thought you might have a better way of doing it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Honesty seems like a reasonable way to go with this one. To be honest, really, doesn't
Yes,
it?
I'm in agreement
I mean,
with.
Why
Carl.
make
I
stuff
think so
up
as well.
when we can just say, look, our coterie knows you've got a phone, you can't have it, so I'm afraid you've got to give it up.
So cough it up.
Yes. Well, no, I'm not saying that. She make that take that literally. But
Well, in the meanwhile,
Gina.
why don't I have a look into Jonathan?
yes,
Right, because the other thing is, he's obviously not been around the last couple of days. Some people know what's happened to him. If he had anything weird or otherwise illegal going on, there would be people trying to tidy up, or people trying to make out on the fact that he's not here anymore.
and as
So
for-
if he was into
Yeah.
anything,
and did you look into Gareth as well?
I did look into Gareth, and I got some information about a girl who'd been seen around on the docks near
A
where he
girl?
died.
A
who's
girl
that?
vampire?
Well, turns out we went down there, didn't I, to see the girl. Some
Right.
girl called Ruby. I think she said
Oh.
her name on. She's
I know her.
she's
Toreador.
who'd you do?
Yeah, no, she's my friend.
Oh, she's a Toreador. I
Anyway.
know her. And
She
I
is.
say, oh,
She
yeah.
was cut up bad by the
Yeah.
fact that he's died.
Yes,
I had
they
a chat
were.
with her
they were
about it.
close. Right.
Did
They were what?
Ruby. Interesting.
We chatted about it.
Well, she's.
She felt better after we finished chatting. I told her I'd go back and see her, check on her. So I minded to do that. See how she's getting on.
Right.
It's very kind of you.
She's a nice girl, and besides,
She is, yeah.
doesn't seem like she knows much about what happened, but I've only chatted to her once.
She's an
If the
anarch.
two of you know her.
She is.
Yeah, Carl will know that
She, I don't know.
she's an anarch toreador. She's a painter. Well, she paints amongst other things, but it's mostly plastic arts. And she was
Opinion, I don't open every conversation about if you're an anarch.
she was close to Gareth because of Gareth being himself an artist and teaching some of the other toreadors, making workshops and things like that. So Carl will know this.
Well, maybe I should look at, because it's my class. Much of a detective, to be honest, but I can ask around. If you want to help me, Matilda, because they're anarchs and
I've needed to talk to her as well. Did you say she was just
You can do what you like. I'm going to
Just
visit her anyway.
wandering around the river?
We went for a walk, she and I, up the river.
Yeah, Matilda would know that Ruby has this connection to the water. Like that's why she draws the river, the seashore, the
Turns out
the lights.
she and I had a lot in common.
Oh.
And actually that sat pretty well with her at the point where I found her. So you
nice
all can do
girl.
what you like, but I'm going to go back and visit her regardless.
Oh, fine.
Matilda, I think you should try and see if you can find out where Roger Smith has been these last few nights.
Do that. I mean, it's far less suspicious for me to be asking those questions than anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Has Roger got like a PA or something?
Has it got a PA, Carlos?
There is a couple of people that hang around him with some regularity. He does have a ghoul that will take the appointments and all that.
He has a ghoul. I mean, I could.
You could
You
get a
take
hold
an
of him.
appointment.
You could get a hold of him through your representative.
Yeah.
No, don't get hold of him. Just get like an email address or something for him. Because then...
Well, no one's
might be able
using electronics, man.
You also know
no.
Roger doesn't use an email address.
No,
Because
Roger
he's like
doesn't use an
ancient.
email address. No, but this ghoul, if he's keeping an appointment diary,
Yeah.
it might be an electronic thing, then we can just get a look at his diary. That's what I'm saying. Then you haven't got to ask anyone.
I have very little idea what you just said, but what I wanted to raise was there is something that does not sit well with me, but nevertheless, I feel you should know. Oscar offered to speak to the Tremere Regent, who is also, of course, the sheriff, who has some skill in investigation and the like. He believes they might be able to aid us in identifying more about what happened here at the ritual. However, such a thing would cost a boon that would be owed to him, and as much as I am curious to learn more, I will not owe him a boon under any circumstances.
I'll do it.
And I am uncomfortable with any of you owing him one, but if it is something you wish...
Why don't you owe me one and I'll owe him one?
Because I do not feel that any of you should owe a boon to the likes of him.
So,
Fair is fair.
is there any other way around it? I mean, we could owe a boon as a coterie.
I feel that Carl has already given us a great piece of information. This vision surely is worth far more than anything a Tremere can provide. Nevertheless, he had made the offer, and I feel bound to tell you of it.
Quick point for Matilda.
Yeah.
The interfaction coteries are a new thing, but according to your understanding of the law, and in particular kindred law, which is something that it's within Matilda's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You can imagine that you could make a good point, because you mentioned a boon as a coterie. You could make a point, because there is no precedent of that happening, but there is nothing that says that as a coterie you couldn't own collectively a boon or cash in boons or things like that. People would owe you boons as a coterie. You think that if you had a chat with a lore keeper about it,
Yeah.
lore keeper would be amenable to have that sort of certified and then registered through the herald.
Look,
So
if
it
you want
is
to
possible,
yeah.
and it would
If you want-
dilute the sort of like the
Yeah.
risk of the
Well,
boon.
If we like to spread the burden, then I can work it out so we all owe it. I mean,
But
it
that
wouldn't. I know.
that don't look Jan, does it?
I mean,
Well, isn't
we
it-
could
I
all
mean-
owe it, but you don't necessarily have to.
No, but that means he can call it in from any one of us, don't he? Would it be just like the Tremere
Well, it
to
was
just
more as-
decide to do it on him?
Yeah, it'd be more as a. I'd have to talk to all of us about it. We'd have to agree as a coterie. I mean, it's up to you, Janusz. If you don't want it, then
I think that even think of it this way: if someone asked you if you wished to be infected with a disease, but only a small part of the disease, would you say, well, it could be worse, it could be my entire body that is infected?
No, I bloody
wow,
wouldn't.
No.
that says a lot.
They tortured my people. They tortured them. And they stole sacred things and perverted them. And not just my people, many of the other clans. I did not take offense to Oscar and his bloodline on a whim. I'm sorry, I thought I'd made this clear.
Oh no, you made it. You've made it clear to me over the years. To be honest, I was well aware of this problem. My feeling is that obviously he is a Tremere, but as you are well aware, individuals who are sired don't necessarily know what they're getting themselves into, and he is.
I
For a
understand
Tremere,
that
he
he's not-
he seems a reasonable Tremere. Should I say? Really,
I do understand, Carl, that he did not do these things himself.
No.
And I also hear the gift you were given, the words I should have taken to heart before, that he is not a threat. He may hate me, but he is not a threat to him, to me, or to any of us. I understand that now. That does not mean I wish to ingratiate myself with his bloodline.
Absolutely not. No, which is why I was going to say that I, as the Camarilla member of this coterie, it may be best for me to take the boon because, well, I don't, the hideousness of what he might ask you to do, or he might be if his elders know that he has a boon from one of your clan, it could become very complicated.
Yes, he could easily trade that boon to another.
If he has a boon from some foppish Camarilla Toreador, then who cares, really? I mean,
Right. It seems to
do
me
something
though
for him at some stage.
we don't have to make this choice now.
No.
We could do all the investigating, see what we turn up, and then see if we make the deal or not.
Absolutely,
No
but I mean, I do
chance playing around
think
before you have to, is there?
Yes,
of
yes,
all four of us, it's probably best for me to have the boon, and as much as it is an interesting idea for our coterie to own, we still have the problem that a Chimichi owes a Tremere boon, and that is just somewhere I don't know if that I want us to go.
No.
So why not keep Oscar on the back burner, right? Because
Did he give you
ultimately,
any?
say Oscar pisses off next week and he's not here to make that deal, that don't mean you can't approach the Tremere region yourself, Carl.
Okay.
Camarilla, right?
I can,
Right.
absolutely, yes.
Let's bypass the middleman.
He's the sheriff. I mean, he is
the sheriff, and
supposedly
also it's
law
more
and
to
order.
Oscar's benefit than yours to have that boon, right? He needs a way to stick around, or he needs something else, some other help that we will be providing him. We don't actually need him to get access to the sheriff. Or you don't, anyway.
No, I can
Unless
probably...
the sheriff says, it's not Camarilla Waters, I ain't going to help you. But if that's the case, he ain't going to say nothing different to Oscar, is he?
If the Sheriff of Bristol is not interested that a member of the Camarilla has been diablerized, then he doesn't
Quite.
deserve to be the sheriff.
It's sheriff.
Quite. But is there, Matty, you know the answer to this.
Yeah.
Is there an etiquette thing what says he'll want to know about it sooner rather than later? If he's a sheriff, that if we go later, he might say, "Why don't you tell me about this? Because it's one of mine."
But
I mean, I don't know if it's an etiquette thing, but I think it's probably a.
Yes, I've already
It's fucked
spoken with one
off.
of them. Apologies.
Yeah. Sorry, no. You have, yeah.
I've already spoken with
Right,
one
yeah.
of the hounds, who was delighted for it not to be their problem, and was also. Well, I've already raised this, but the sheriff is already aware.
Right.
As are many, I believe, in the Camarilla by now, and indeed all of Bristol.
Well, in this situation, we're expected to look into it, but we may well get. We need to get results.
We do.
Well,
'cause
I'll
we
do
have a
some
very
reading.
sensitive piece of information that I don't want getting out.
No, I have no
Well-
intention of telling.
And I'm talking
should.
about I know you, but I'm talking about Annie. I'm wondering, even though I was quite happy for them all to go out.
You know what I want to do with them?
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying no. I'm
On
not
the
saying the box,
table.
but I think we need to. I think considering what she knows, I think we need to be careful.
You know what? I think it is worth pointing out, if we had to put them all in a box, none of this would have ever happened. Just saying for next time. I know you're not going to agree with me.
All right, no, Julie noted.
All right, the next time we're in this exact situation, contemplate putting them in a box.
Oh, don't split hairs.
So it looks like the conversation is reached like an end point.
Yeah. And can we get out of here? It's really horrible and ugly under this underpass.
What do you mean it's ugly?
It's just
My
there.
friend did that graffiti.
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry. I need to go.
So where is the coterie going? Are you parting ways? Are you going all together somewhere?
So I think I will part ways and go and do some grade A information gathering on the streets / other areas which I have influence / status to find out as much as I can about Jonathan and his movements and actions over the last few days and people he might have had as friends or enemies, all that good stuff.
Okay, how long do you intend to?
So
How
I
long
think
do you want to invest? How much time do you?
Okay,
want?
so I think in terms of effort, my expectation is that I will know people who will know people, etc. So that I will put out the word. I will suggest that if anyone has information pertaining to this, then I am prepared to meet them to talk it through. I think probably I want this to work. So in terms of setting it up, I realize I'm not going to get information back tonight. But in terms of setting it up, if I spend the rest of the evening setting it up, so that I can make this as effective as possible, and then I'll wait and see what comes back to me. So that might mean traveling to the docks. It might mean, talking to other people like Lug or other people,
So, the best way forwards for Nanjusil, she gathers that it would be along the lines of running her own little part of the investigation, as in tracking the people down, having a chat with them, making sure that they know what is it that she's looking for, without giving too much away. And she will do it in different circles.
Yep.
So this means that is probably... Okay, I would say resolve plus investigation.
Good work. Roll away.
Oh. Yes.
Work for me, storyteller.
Do you wish to rouse the blood for a blood surge to increase your dice pool, or?
Yeah, let's say yes.
Oh
Oh,
my
wait,
God.
am I hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
let's
hungry.
just do it. It'll be interesting if I get hungrier.
Okay. So you're not using
Yeah.
it.
I will use it.
You will use it. Oh, my
Yes.
apologies.
Just because it will be hilarious if you fail, right? That's
Yes,
the thinking.
exactly. But also, I mean, in fairness, she does want this to succeed.
Yeah.
Well, so far you have 4 successes, and let me roll an extra die. Whoop. Roll 20 should do it, and your rouse check just for laughs. So you go to hunger 4.
Yes, come on. Okay.
Success. I guess.
I guess I will.
But you have
I guess
4
I'll-
successes on your investigation roll. Okay,
Good out.
which is good. So
I mean, obviously, I will try and eat.
you will try to sneak in one
Yeah, I'll
like
sneak
one
in
thief.
secretly into an unsuspecting mortal's house and try not to murder them.
So I'll come back to you because
Yes, of
that
course,
might be
yeah.
a really interesting cliffhanger at the end of the
It
session.
might be, yes.
So the other 3, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, I'd like to speak to Ruby with Matilda, but I think probably the thing I should do immediately is the blooming.
Sorry, you
HQ.
broke down.
You broke up there
a
when you
little
said-
bit.
Yeah.
So the immediate thing would be
To get the phone out of the HQ.
okay.
Good work. Come on, Carl.
Mission
Punch her in the face.
phone
No.
extraction.
You are
Now,
right.
I know that my desire at the moment is to be a most excellent host, but I think this is just I do have to
Well, actually,
Put
you
the foot down.
you'll fulfill your desire because you were a most excellent host in the first part of the evening. So you can change your desire, and if your desire is to take the phone out of the
Take damn
house,
phone off that girl. Yeah.
and that, kids, is how you play with desires. Let me get all that willpower back. So yeah, you.
Hey, can my desire to be recruit people to Jan's cult?
Yeah, in which case you must have
Do
all the
very
willpower.
well.
That should be like an ambition or something.
Community
Yeah,
also.
community. Sorry,
Community.
So you could.
Don't listen to the song; it's misleading.
Yeah. It's like if you make it an
Stronger.
ambition, every time you recruit someone, you heal like aggravated willpower damage, which is better. Okay, so Carl returns to the HQ with a coterie. And they are a little bit more lively because they had some conversation. They had something to talk about. I mean, they're disconnected. They usually converse about what's going on the TV, and at some point they stopped doing that, just watching the news. Now there is sort of like a series on the background, and people are chatting. Clarence is reading, but in the room instead of downstairs. So they are sort of like socializing a little bit more. And Annie is in a corner watching the TV, on a corner of the couch, watching the TV.
Annie, I need to talk to you for a minute, if that's all right.
Yes. And she stands up, grabs her Sharky, and goes with you.
Okay, well, we go downstairs, and I say to her, immediately, Nanjazaz told me that you have a telephone in your plushy shop. And you know that you're not allowed to have a telephone either on your own person, or in your plushy shark, or anywhere.
Just give me a second. You see her collecting herself. Well, let's see if she collects herself.
Oh my god, she
Oh my gosh.
Fury
Just rip
frenzy.
that band-aid off.
Or
Really.
Fury frenzy. Who knows?
Wow.
I would
Kids
love
and their
it.
phones these days.
He is
guys.
not as innocent as you all think.
Yeah, she's going spare.
I can say this from over here.
Crisis
Well,
averted. So she has enough successes not to. You see her composing herself. And you see, like, she struggles to keep it in. And for a second there, doesn't look like Annie anymore. It's like, we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
Ay, ay, ay.
But then she said she wouldn't tell.
Well, I'm sorry that she did tell in some ways, but I'm not sorry that she told in others, because it's it's the safety of everybody that I'm thinking of here, Annie. You know that when you're in London, the reason that London fell, one of the main reasons, is because they were able to track people by their electronic devices, and they were able to hack into everybody's electronics and know what was going on.
Yeah, but this is not my phone from London. This is a burner. I am.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, it's safe. I know it's safe, and it's very safe, Carl. You have to trust me. It's very safe. It was.
I can't trust you. I need to have that phone out. I'm sorry.
And she kind of breaks.
I really hate to ask you this, and I know these things are important.
But he gave it to me to keep us safe.
He did.
Yeah.
Who's he, Annie?
Caleb.
Caleb gave it to you.
Yeah, but don't tell anybody, please, please. And she reaches into the plushie, takes it out. There is a single number on it, and she shows you the conversations. And the conversations are, I miss you too. What are you up to? I'm watching TV. How about you? Working late. I wish I was there with you. I know this is. We went the recent messages. We went out tonight. We had a good time. Carl was really nice. Oscar done with a sharky and shark emojis and stuff. It's just don't
Give me your phone. Give me the phone.
She puts it on your hand.
Really sorry. Thank you.
He's a nice man.
He's a very nice man. But we can't be having phones because we don't know how they manage to track everybody. And if they track this, then you're the one who's in danger. And so is everybody else upstairs, Oscar and Clarence, and so is so is Matilda and Nanjasal and Yanis.
I wouldn't put any of you in danger. Caleb has, he said something of investments. He works with the Ministry of Defense. That is a secure phone.
We don't know that they're not in the Ministry of Defense, though.
Could they be in the Ministry of Defense?
I don't know. I don't know anything about them. We're trying to find out because, if when we saw what we saw, I mean, who's to know that was even? Maybe it was one of them posing as someone that we know. I mean, that's why I asked you not to tell anyone because it's so difficult.
And how do I get in touch with him now? Can I send him a message to say that you have the phone, so he knows that I'm not replying to his messages because I'm angry or anything?
I've got the phone, and I'll just say, Caleb, this is Carl. You really shouldn't have given Annie a phone. We must talk about this. Send.
Yeah.
Almost immediately, like there is like a second there between the two checks being gray and going blue. The message has been read, but no reply comes through.
Okay.
Is he in trouble?
Yes.
Please don't get him in trouble. Please.
That is it's not down to me. It's down to the safety of us all.
But he told me that his sire is very strict. And I don't know. I saw Basi once, and he's scary.
He is pretty scary. I agree. But next time he comes, I'll have a word with him, and I don't know that it necessarily has to get to Basi.
Okay.
Maybe it does.
He's due tomorrow. Last time he came was like 3 days ago, so he has to come tomorrow.
And so I will speak to him tomorrow.
Please be nice. Please be nice.
I'm trying to be nice now, and I'm taking your phone away, Annie. I mean, there's only so nice you can be when you're doing something horrible like this. So I'm really sorry that you can't have this, but I'm just hoping things will go back to normal soon. and then you'll be able to have a phone and you can talk to anybody you like.
Okay.
But for now, we need to just talk to the people upstairs. Maybe I can get you. I don't know. Maybe we could just get an old style computer console or something. Something that's not attached to the internet. Games or something, if that's what you.
Okay. Maybe that works.
Nanj can probably do that. Maybe get you an old.
Okay.
Something. Anyway, let's go upstairs. I didn't want to tell everybody else in the room that you had this. I just wanted to do it, just the two of us, so that they didn't. They don't need to know this. But it's important that you don't have it.
Thank you, Carl.
That's okay. And I'm sorry.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's okay, Annie. It's fine, and I'm really, it's not. I'm not angry with you. I'm more angry with Caleb for giving it to you, to be honest.
When you say that, she rushes to you and gives you a hug.
Okay. Let's go upstairs.
And now you see her a little bit more composed. And she just goes upstairs, dragging the plushie by the tail.
And I break the phone in half.
That went so much better than if I would have done that.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Do you
That was a
think?
masterclass.
Way bad. Yeah.
And then I'll go and join. Matilda.
Yeah,
and
I would be.
I hope that maybe we can now go and talk to Ruby. That was the other thing.
I'd probably ask, did you get it off her?
Yeah. I'll show her the remains of the phone.
Jesus. She killed that. How did she have it?
Caleb gave it to her.
Fuck off.
And he was the only conversation in the texts. So we need to talk to him tomorrow night when he turns up.
Do we know if was it him or was it? I mean, did Abasi give it to him to give to her, or was it him?
She didn't know. I mean, she obviously, it's Annie. She just took things on face value and was just chatting with Caleb about having a nice evening tonight and, going. Luckily, she didn't.
Fucking idiot.
She didn't say anything, in the conversation about what happened last night, what we saw. So, yeah.
Thanks for handling that. She looks alright.
She's fine. She's fine with me, and I told her that I was angry with him, and so.
Right, should we go talk to Ruby then?
I think we should.
What does Janice do after the coterie? Well, after Nangisel is left to do some of her investigation.
I'm assuming that he wasn't privy to that last conversation that Matilda and Carl just had, right? That he was. So what I think
he probably was tending to the other guests as Carl was talking to Annie.
Yeah, so I think there is something that he would want to say to the other guests, actually.
Okay.
So if they're going out, he might try and address the guests, as is his wont.
Yes.
No one else is here. I'm sure it'll all go fine.
So you talk to the guests on the once Annie is back, or you talk to Clarence, Laura, and Oscar?
I don't need Annie to be there actually for this. It's more the other three that I'm talking to.
Okay, cool. Anything important? Is this a scene that you would like to roleplay, or is this Janice making an attempt?
I think it'd be very short. It'd be very short. I'd like to roleplay it, but it's not long. It's not like a scene.
Excellent. Let's
go
for it.
Show you what he says.
Cool.
So he will say, "Sorry to disturb your evenings, but I wish to say something to you all."
Clarence,
thinking.
Sorry, Clarence closes the book with his hand on the pages to not lose it, and gives you his full attention.
So
Laura mutes the TV.
He will appreciate that.
And turns to you, and actually Oscar turns to face you, even though he's very stiff. So you see, there is this more amenable side of them. After half a night with Carl, they are very willing to listen to you.
I'll say there are arguments that could be made that these are strange nights and unique circumstances. And it is true that when you came here, my focus has been on your safety and the safety of the city and the safety of this domain. But none of those arguments change the fact that you are here as our guests, and I am your host. And whilst we have strived to make sure that you have not come to harm, we have not, no, I have not given you a home here. And in my life, before I was changed, I have experienced what it is to have your home ripped from you and to have to flee into the night. Therefore, I should have known best for you, having to come here. And what it is like to have your most basic freedoms taken. To be denied the pleasure of nature and the outdoors. So I wish to offer you my apologies in the first instance. And of course, I would understand are unhappy being here. I wish to leave. But should you choose to remain for a time longer, whether you intend eventually to leave Bristol or to remain, while your time is with us, it is my intention to give you a home here. Be that here in this building or in my own home. To be a proper host. To treat you not as a problem or a thing to be managed, but as people, as you deserve to be treated. I do not expect any of you to say anything, but I wish to communicate this and to say that I will do better by you in future.
Laura.
For no matter our histories, I'll look at Oscar, say, on this night, you are guest and I am host. That is all that matters.
Laura is the one who speaks. Oscar just solemnly nods. And Laura says, I appreciate your words, Janusz. Apologies if at any point we have not behaved as proper guests. I would like to take you up on that offer. Tomorrow we're due feeding in Camarilla territory. We will be returned at some point, I assume, around this time tomorrow. And I would very much like it if I could have a walk. Doesn't need to be in the streets. You mentioned in other areas, nature, as long as it's a garden, just a walk outside. I enjoy a nightly walk.
I know many beautiful places in the city, and it would be my pleasure to share them with you.
Thank you. It doesn't need to be anywhere in the city, as long as it's here in your domain and you are.
It will be somewhere safe, I promise you.
Thank you. Clarence says, I would like to join you for that walk, if I may, and looks at Janusz. And Oscar goes like, remember what I said about talking to my regent?
I do. You wish arrangements be made?
Indeed. For I am willing to take the majority of the weight of the boon he would ask. For it was made clear to me that this is not his jurisdiction. And I could dilute that boon towards you. You would owe it to me. You or any of your coterie mates. I seek only reference, a recommendation of sorts. I am making arrangements to be accepted in other cities. And it would be good to have those references coming from kindred other than London. So
the matter of the boon I'll speak further with my coterie about. But regardless, I will make arrangements such that you might see the regent. I would not keep you from your blood.
Thank you. And with that, everybody seems to be in much better spirits. Janus feels better about this. Also, after his conversation with Michael, and now putting those practices to effect, you are allowed to sort of refresh your protect the flock conviction, and now it's ready again to shield you from stains.
Yes, for the next stain,
For the next stain. Oh, yes. Speaking of stains, so Carl Saint-Jacques Frédéric de Toureau.
One of the, nearly. Yes.
Jack.
On the good side, I think I probably get willpower.
Sorry?
For getting the phone, because my desire was currently get the phone.
No, yes, you're full willpower because you have fulfilled your desires. But do you have any? Okay, you were absolutely right when you said that you should have gone to the Camarilla with information that the Anarch Baron could be behind the diablerie of Jonathan Fowler. And after all, my faction, right or wrong. But you have decided to keep that under wraps, actually, completely. Do you have any convictions that will help you shield stains?
Shielding stains with convictions. I don't know, really. I don't think so.
I don't think for this specific. This is kind of very specific, and I don't think.
No.
So
I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna write a play about it.
No,
go like that.
There's no beauty.
Well, I might do, but it's all my convictions are all about art, darling. So.
Well, there's also the one about hard work. Through hard work, you can.
Yeah, but again, through hard work, all can be artists. But
so you will get one stain that we will resolve in a few moments. Yes.
I'm really sorry to be a dick.
Yes.
You know how much I hate to be a dick.
Oh, come on.
But isn't Caleb
nobody ever says that and enjoys being a dick, do they?
And hasn't Caleb broken the rules that were set by the prince? And hasn't an anarch been told about that? Isn't that also stain worthy?
Well, actually, my question was, I don't intend to go directly to the anarchs about Roger. So am I also in Stainland?
You are in Stainland. We will get there. Just give me a second. Regarding that, yes and no, Peter. So he did mention. Well, the things that the person who would be getting stains for the phone incident would be Caleb in this.
Oh, even better.
This regard. So it's not.
You can give him to a batty. I mean, that would make me even happier.
And Carl Carl was acting in the best interest of the Camarilla, because the Camarilla is the one that is given the order not to use electronics. All other factions are encouragingly, making it as an encouragement, like a very hard encouragement, like don't use electronics. Sure. But the Camarilla has it as an order. So Carl actually went by the book on that one. Mention it to somebody else. Not a problem, especially because Caleb is someone that goes and comes to your domain.
Okay, cool.
And he needed to provide some safety. By saying Caleb is the one who gave her the phone, he just saying which other Camarilla person instead of Annie was to blame. But he's keeping it in-house. So, yes, Matilda, you will be getting stains for... Well, you have this information, and it's not like you have not stood up and defended Roger, but you haven't.
Yeah.
To be fair,
You're right.
And so that might take you into Stain Town. So if you please would let me know if there are any convictions that you might blag.
None may control me because none can control. No, it's I don't. I think that's a real stretch.
I think you're gonna be getting another like a stain for your efforts.
Yeah.
Because it's not that you have actively acted against your conviction. Your conviction of the stains is that you have neglected to, like, you have let it pass. People were discussing. Of course, there was a lot of conversation that it could have not been Roger, but Roger is at the center point, and now you're going to be investigating him on the, on the QT, which might be more stain-worthy. So I'm playing the long game here. Okay, so Nan Giselle.
I'm stain-free, thanks.
Yes, but you are also hunger 4.
For now.
What am I getting stain for?
You are hunger 4. Sorry.
Before we pop over to Nan,
Yes.
can I also
Stay in Surrey. Stay in
Yes.
Staines.
Would I be able to just drop a text, not in the vicinity of Carl?
You cheeky person.
Who are you texting?
I'm gonna text his sister because I'm realizing that I still haven't dealt with that.
Mm-hmm.
And just ask her to meet in the same place that we did last time tomorrow.
If I find your text, I'm going to mess you up. I'm not
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
We're gonna send Carl around to take your phone away.
She replies almost instantly, saying with a thumbs up and a big smile.
Okay. Fine.
So last to end the session, Nan Giselle goes. She's in Autarkia's territory and she's allowed to hunt in these areas. They are different than other factions. As long as you're in Autarkia's territory and you respect the rules, you can feed if you need to. Nan Giselle definitely needs to. You are close. Well, where your walk around the city looking for informants and people ended up getting you to the harbor side. You were close to the SS Great Britain in Spike Island. You're in Gaslane. And there are a few complexes here, and some of them have balconies. Some people leave those balcony doors open, not locked, especially if you're on the second or third floor, but there are stairs for health and safety reasons. Very stealthily, Nan Giselle will try to go and seek one of those. So it's going to be a stealth plus dexterity plus larceny check, which I will be rolling for you. Do you just want to get to hunger 5 and rouse the blood?
Be done with it.
And be done with it? Or no, I mean...
Do I want to get to hunger 5?
No. My question...
I feel like I should say, remind me what happens if that happens.
Well, it just makes it infinitely more difficult to not infinitely, but it makes it more difficult to resist the beast if you end up having a frenzy. And,
oh my god!
You are already at the risk of losing yourself at the taste of blood.
Yes, exactly. I can feel the warmth of Janish's disappointment on my ear.
Okay, so you will not rouse.
I won't do that. No.
Cool. So it's going to be a dexterity plus larceny check. Using your specialty of breaking in.
Yes.
It is a stealth specialty, but I am allowing it to apply to this roll because what you're literally trying to do is just either pick a lock or find the one that is like easiest and out of sight. And that is a messy critical. No, I'm joking. I haven't seen the results. It's just.
I'm not even looking at it. I can't see.
Oh my god, that is okay. Do you want to re-roll?
I don't know. I can't see the numbers.
Oh, damn. So you have 4 successes so far. You have 1 10 on a hunger die, which could potentially turn it. If you re-roll and get another 10, you can get a messy critical. But you also have a 1. You also have a 1, which means that if the target number for this is more than 4 and you don't succeed, you get a compulsion.
Well, I feel like I'll be letting chat down if I don't try and roll some more dice.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
So I think we should do that. Yeah.
There is only one thing. If you do a re-roll, you'll have less willpower for the upcoming frenzy check you're going to have to make.
Just say
no.
So are you re-rolling or not?
Yeah, why not? Because I could get a compulsion and that would be fun. And you lot keep telling me the ministry one is the best one.
The ministry one is the best compulsion.
So let's do
by
it.
far, by miles.
Also, I'm.
Oh my god, you are in a messy critical. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7 successes. Messy critical.
Good break in there.
It is a good break in. I think that's a takeaway
good.
from this. Good break in.
So you do succeed, and you do succeed in a manner that is spectacular. You easily gain access through a back door. You know, those that are key punching stuff that is left open, probably by someone who's coming in and out, or someone who didn't want to lock it for a cigarette or whatever. You come in, and that allows you easy access to the staircase that goes through the balconies, and you find one in which there's a group of people. It is probably 4 a.m. because you finished the conversation with your coterie around 12:30, maybe 1 in the morning, and then you spend a couple of hours doing your investigation and stuff. So it's maybe 3, 4, let's say 4 in the morning. Sun won't come up until like 6, so you're still fine. You find a one that there is a light, so you're hesitant, but now you see people. They're sleeping. A couple of them on a couch. There are bottles and plastic cups all over the place. They looked like they were playing beer pong. They are passed out. You found the perfect place. It has... Now that once you go in and you realize the music's still on and they are completely sound asleep, looking very drunk, passed out. This is a house with 5 people. You can completely satiate yourself. You can completely make with some nice cash that they have on the side. And a couple of them have nice items as well in the house. Things that you can nick, but small ones. Things that wouldn't draw attention immediately. So you could fence them quickly.
Yep, I'll do that. All those things, I'll do all the above.
Okay. That is the critical part of things.
Now tell me where it all goes wrong.
The messy part of things is that it'll be very clear that someone broke the shelf. At some point, you're going to break a shelf while feeding or while nicking stuff. Which means that you will have to bolt.
I will do that.
Unless you frenzy. In which case, it makes it more fun for me.
Yes. Okay, we'll do that next time.
Or do
you want to do it now?
I mean, you have to make you will have to make a frenzy check because you will taste blood at hunger 4. You need to roll just because of the taste of blood.
Just roll me the check then.
Okay, so it's a frenzy check. You have only, oh my god, your willpower sucks.
Yeah,
I have composure of 1.
This is why re-rolling is really exciting.
So you have 3 willpower and 2 dice because of your humanity, and that is it.
Did you spend a willpower in the end?
For what? What am I spending willpower for?
The re-roll.
What re-roll?
The one where you wanted to roll more dice.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
That was like 2 minutes.
You did, I have to spend a willpower for that.
That was why I was... It doesn't matter.
Well, I guess I spent it then.
It's fine.
Yeah, which is... I mean, you got on the edge 2 successes.
Oh, you did it.
Yes.
Wow.
Which
means I will learn no lessons and do this many times.
Yay.
Yeah, you got it exactly. You almost lose control of the beast. And while you're drinking and losing control, keeping in check the beast, that's when you break the shelves. So how much blood are you going to take? And if
I mean... I want to not be hungry.
Okay.
After this.
So since it was a critical,
4.
since it was critical, you can quickly get 1 out of each person, which means that there is potential for funsies there, but that will be the fastest feed because if not, you will have to either drink very slowly from one person or like over the course of the scene or hurt them. I don't know if you want to hurt them.
No, I don't want to hurt them.
Okay.
Unless I'm compelled to do so.
Then
Yeah.
you drink a little from everybody, and then there is a knock on the door from a neighbor going, "I told you to shut that thing down!" And with the ruckus and all of that, you have to make a quick escape. That is where we're gonna leave the session, but we have not one unprecedented 2 remorse checks to do. This
Exciting
session.
times.
So how does this work?
So
Yeah.
on the bottom of the sheet, there is where you have the rouse frenzy. There is one that says remorse.
Right.
So can you please tell me what's your humanity, both of you?
7.
7.
So both of you have humanity 7 and 1 stain, which means that
Okay.
out of the 10 track,
That's a humanity roll you can make.
you have
Yeah.
2
Oh, yeah.
empty boxes. Your remorse die is 2. Because
Okay.
humanity is a 10 box track. 7 is what you have. You have 3 empty boxes, and your stains fill them in.
Okay.
Okay, I done it. I got 2 successes.
Ooh.
I got 0.
0.
Okay,
What does that mean?
so
Means you've
it
been
means
pushed.
that Carl, he got at least a success. He actually feels very bad about not disclosing any of this to the camera, and he has to still keep on it. So it may be something for Josh to consider when he's doing role play. Carl is he's troubled by this. He's letting his faction down. He's trying to rationalize why he's doing it, but still he feels bad about it. Matilda couldn't care less. She
On brand.
she does
No.
she does not see Roger as the Anarchs. He's just one person in the Anarchs. He might give us a bad reputation, but if I start trying to stand up for him, I mean, you cannot stand up for every Anarch. Every Anarch has to stand up for themselves. You as a unified front, and if he messed up, then he is the one bringing you down. You don't feel sorry for this. You need to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
You justify it in your mind. You rationalize it, and your humanity goes down by 1
One bad apple, guys.
to
Whereas the
6.
Okay.
I feel like we've got quite a few bad apples, if I'm honest.
And with
Yeah.
that loss of humanity, we're going to draw our session to a close. Apologies for the slightly late finish, but we did have a 2-hour session, sort of, if you don't count the first 15 minutes that I was doing like storytelling to
Let me tell you, that was
a
quality
close look.
roleplay on my behalf.
It
that you
was.
mentioned.
It was the best
So much
role
better
playing
than
you've
the
ever
second
seen.
time round.
Yeah,
Or not seen.
it
Well,
was
see.
this was not the best role playing in the world. No, this was just a tribute. So
Yeah.
thank
Exactly.
you very much to my players.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, Carlos.
Carlos.
Thank you very much to Mitch, because he's awesome and amazing, and thanks to him, all the
Thank you,
tech
Mitch.
goes
Thank you,
smooth. Lots of love to our, Carlos Appreciation Week, so our resident tech
Oh,
Carlos,
yes, thank you, Carlos. You're
Carlos
wonderful.
appreciation. Thank you.
and thank you to our viewers and listeners. And
Yeah. best
let's
of all.
see what our coterie gets to next week for episode 8 of Blood on the Severn. So until then, see you. Everybody, wave and say bye.
Bye, everybody.